Hello and welcome back to the Cricket Nerds podcast. I am Zach and joining me today is James.
Hello.
And also I'm joined with Ben.
Hi.
Hello, Ben. Right. So today we're looking at Owen Morgan's Kolkata Knight Riders, except Owen Morgan doesn't play for them anymore, which is going to be fun. And yeah, let's get straight into it. They've got all their overseas players all filled out. So let's talk about their overseas players first. James, do you want to kick things off?
Yes, I do. Right. Well, they started things off by splashing the cash a bit, and they went for Pat Cummins, and they went hard for him. I think what was it, 7.25 crore.
Bargain.
So I think that's very good
Bargain.
value. I think what we saw this year, interestingly, was a lot of the marquee players went cheaper than you'd expect them to, because everyone was thinking so tactically. They were like, well, we need to save our money for the later players. So yeah, they got Pat Cummins on a bargain. They've got Sam Billings, Sunil Narayan, obviously, and Andre Russell they'd retained before. They've got Tim Southey. They've got Alex Hales, which, you know, we've wanted to see him in the IPL for a while. So that's quite exciting. Mohamed Nabi, which, you know, we've no longer got Afghanistan B team as Sunrisers Hyderabad, which I'm kind of going to miss. And then who else they got? Karanaki. Is that how you say it?
Karunaratne.
Karuna. Thank you. Karunaratne. Yeah, so, you know, they've got some decent overseas players, I think. I think they've got quite a good core of all-rounders. And I've got a little bit of a theory that you can judge a bad IPL team by the quality of their all-rounders. If they've got low-quality all-rounders, generally, you're not going to see them have that middle order shore up. You're not going to see them be able to survive a batting collapse. See Punjab Kings of 2021. Whereas this Kolkata Knight Riders team, they've got a solid middle order there, and it's a middle order made up of bowlers that can bat really well and batsmen that can bowl really well. So you can have any of them in on that merit alone, which means that you can bat deep and you can have a lot of bowling options as a captain. So I'd say they've smashed it this year, just on overseas players alone.
Yeah, they're definitely doing really well. I think the one thing they're going to struggle with is what mix of overseas players they use in their squad. Clearly, they can only play 4 overseas players. And for that reason, I don't think we'll see Alex Hales that much this year, because it's a dead cert that they're going to play Andre Russell, Sunil Narayan and Pat Cummins. Like, that is going to be 6, 7, 8 in the batting order. They're going to all bowl. Well, Narayan and Cummins have got 4 overs each, a couple here and there for Dre Russ. I can't see how they're going to fit Hales in there too when they need Sam Billings to be their wicketkeeper. I think they're missing an Indian wicketkeeper this year, with losing Dinesh Karthik. But for giving up Dinesh Karthik, what they have got is a fantastic Indian top 4. I think they've possibly got the best, maybe apart from Mumbai potentially, but the best top 4 from the auction. With, I'd probably expect to see Venkatesh Iyer and Ajinkya Rahane opening together. Rahane being more of a touch player, allowing Venki to play his big shots. Shreyas Iyer and Rana coming in at sort of 3 and 4, and I'd also expect to see Shreyas Iyer to be their captain. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that got announced very shortly. I think they've got one of the best top 4s in the tournament, and they've also got incredible spin bowlers in Chakravarti and Sunil Narayan. Aside from their mix of overseas, I can't really see a weak point, unless you've got one, Zach.
Well, I'm going to kind of go against what you said in terms of not seeing Alex Hales, because I think they actually will pick Alex Hales. I could be wrong. First game of the season, they won't pick Alex Hales. But the reason being is because the reason I want to start with their overseas is because they don't have that many Indian players. They splashed out on their overseas players, and the only overseas players they picked up for less than 1 crore was Shamika Karunaratne, who I've never heard of before this auction. I think he's played a handful of 2020s for Sri Lanka. Not done incredibly well either. So I was quite surprised when I looked at his stats, but they obviously see something in him. Because when you look down the list, I'm trying to think, because you need 4 overseas, and they've got 4 overseas. Whichever overseas they pick is going to be good. When you look down the list, I'm thinking you got 7. You need to get 7 Indians in. Chakravarti with a dead cert. And then you've got Ajinkya Rahane will probably play for his experience. That's 2. Umesh Yadav will probably play because of the experience. But then Rahane and Yadav, I wouldn't say, are the best Indian buys in the tournament. Then Nitish Rana, Shreyas Iyer, and Venkatesh Iyer. So that's 6 Indians. Now, their 7th best is probably Sheldon Jackson, who is a wicketkeeper. He's 35. He's played loads of 2020 matches. And I think he'll be their main wicketkeeper. He strikes at over 120 in 2020.
You're missing Shivam Mavi.
I'm not. Shivam Mavi, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be their front line
season.
He'll open the bowling. No. They spent 7.25 crore for him.
Okay.
So he'll definitely play and bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. But so I guess they have some decent players, decent Indians, but they've only got a few. They've got a lot of young Indian players, and so they don't really have that much backup. So they'll be relying on their overseas players, I think, and that could be their weakness. But I'm hoping that Alex Hales gets a gig, because it's just funny how Owen Morgan, who's kept Alex Hales out of the England side, has been replaced by Alex Hales. And if Alex Hales just has like a standout IPL, proves all the doubters wrong, then that would be amazing.
Don't get me wrong.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I want to see that.
Yeah.
If they play Sheldon Jackson instead of Sam Billings, that'll be probably the backup keeper they have. But I don't know. I think they just picked up Sam Billings to be that wicket keeper. So it's either going to be Billings or Hale, isn't it? Really, that we see. But yeah, will definitely be interesting, won't it? I think they're definitely ones to watch.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's a good time to wrap up. If you enjoy the video, drop us a like, drop us a subscribe. Our stats have been telling us that 49% of you aren't subscribed. So click on that subscribe button and show us that some love. Comments down below. What's your best KKR team? Do we think they're contenders for the championship again? Do you think Mavi is rubbish like Zach thinks he is? Let's see. Remember to follow us on our social media, and we'll catch you in the next video.